So I had an interesting morning. I gave a live trading challenge webinar to roughly 100, 150 students, and I closed out my trade on ITKG. That was a nice 10, 15% winner from yesterday. And then I also sold some longer term positions and made about just under 5,000 for the day. NTN was up due to a Business Insider article, not necessarily anything that they did very well. And there's actually some somewhat negative reviews of VOXX's upcoming 360 fly. So I got out of these positions. I sold the ITKG. But the biggest thing this morning was this. I was featured in Business Week in an article called How to Make Millions by Marketing Yourself as a Douchebag. And it is me taking a selfie in front of a Lambo. Um, it was an interesting article. I think it could have gone better. Obviously, it could have gone worse. Um, I made friends with Caleb. He was the reporter. He followed me around, asked me more questions than ever. And he really focused on the money aspect and how I market. So we took some kind of ridiculous photos. This was a good quote from my mom saying all his marketing makes him look like a jerk. um, and then there's me looking like a jerk with money in my Louboutins. I guess I should have cleaned the Louboutins before the photo shoot in bed. And I'm just honest. Like this one where it says the prospect of being on live TV scared Sykes so much he had down shots of vodka to loosen up. I was drunk as shit. He says Sykes openly on air spoke about his biggest loss, which was 200,000. And that's the truth. You can judge me however you want. I post a lot of these pictures and videos just to inspire my students. That's what it comes down to. I'm not really all about the money. I can barely even stand my Lamborghini. It makes me nauseous when I drive it too fast. I don't actually wear Louboutins anytime other than in photo shoots or I have a music video which I still have to edit. And I keep some cash. I usually just bring this cash out for photo shoots. So the title for this Business Week thing, is actually pretty accurate. I guess it would be more accurate to say that it's like how to make millions, marketing yourself as wealthy, because that's what I do. I show off my wealth in an obnoxious way. I really would prefer to drive a Jeep Grand Cherokee. My old Miami Beach house was in this neighborhood where there were speed bumps, and it was such a pain in the butt, literally a pain in the butt in my back, driving over those speed bumps on Pine Tree Drive with my Lamborghini. And then I borrowed my friend's Jeep Grand Cherokee one day, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So do I need the Lamborghini? No. Do I like it? Sometimes. Does it inspire students? All the time. And that's what it comes down to. And I wish that the reporter had focused on that more than Tim Sykes' outlandish self-promotional strategies have made him richer than trading ever did. I mean, that makes it seem like, okay, I'm just doing all this just for the money and for the attention, when the real element, yes, I make money, yes, I do like, and I do receive attention from it all, but the real main thing is that it gets people studying harder. As I've told countless people who have asked, when I make a video lesson about some boring stock chart, and I use a little thumbnail of my Lamborghini, it gets 3 to 4 times as many views as just the stock chart alone, because you have to see the reward at the end. So do I make fun of myself? Do I take it to a new level? Yes. Do I really need to take pictures like this and like, look at me, here's me smirking in front of the Lamborghini? Did I even need an orange Lamborghini? No, I wanted a black one. I couldn't get insurance in time. Before I had the Lamborghini, I wasn't driving for nearly a decade while in New York City. So it took me a little while to find insurance. Your first car back as a driver is a $200,000 plus car. So the black one sold. That's why I got orange. But I am proud of the fact that, he talks about how I've exposed the pumps that celebrities like Justin Bieber and Shaquille O'Neal have done. And I love the fact that he's talked to several of my students, and more than I've ever done in trading profits. Yes, educational profits. That just means that I'm on the right track for my business. I still had a record year last year, $875,000 in trading profits. I have never made that much, even in the 1999 and 2000 bubble. I had several profits last year that were 30, 40, 50,000 and two $70,000 profits. And my biggest losses were like 10 or 15,000. So I had much bigger wins than losses, and I had a record year. So while I do make more money from teaching, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm doing the right thing because my strategy, where I can make 875,000 in a year trading, or usually 2, 3, 400,000, which is more usual for me, that is a skill that I can teach and that I have taught. And I'm very proud that, he said this: when a second customer, Tim Grittani, claimed to have made more than 1 million. It's not exactly just claimed. He shows every single trade. When we were talking to CNN Money, they wanted to see everything, and Fox. And Tim Grittani is now taking a few thousand into 2.5 million. And, aside from short selling penny stocks, which is a strategy that I've kind of popularized, not invented, not claiming that I invented it, just saying that I popularized it, you can't really turn a few thousand into a few million in a few years without learning how to short sell penny stocks or trade penny stocks. And then he also quoted, what was it? Michael Good. Where was it? Oh, one-day trader Michael Good, who lives in Western Michigan, says he's made 1.4 million investing with Sykes' techniques. Not really investing, but trading. And Michael Good also, him and Tim Grittani, they both do their own thing now. But I show them a few tips, a few tricks, a few patterns, a few rules, and they implement it into their own trading. So I don't want to claim all success like, oh, I made Michael Good, oh, I made Tim Grittani. No, they traded it themselves, all success, and props to them. All I can do is show you what I've learned over 15 years. And, you can learn it, you can ignore me, you can do whatever you want. I just throw it out there because when I got started, no one was teaching. Nobody was doing anything useful except giving picks, which is sadly still the state of the stock market. You have all these newsletters, chat rooms, message boards, and they focus on the picks and real-time breaking news and real-time picks. And for me, the real-time alerts, I don't want you to ever follow my real-time alerts. They're just real-time reminders of the patterns that I teach in my DVDs and video lessons, the same patterns that made me rich and made people like Michael Good. Michael Good made $30,000 the other day buying the pump TLPY early. I think Tim Grittani bought some too. I don't know exactly how much he made, but that is something I used to do, buy pumps. I don't really do that much because it confuses students. They're like, why are you buying an outright scam? And I'm like, yeah. Now that I have students, I've adapted my trading strategy really so that every single trade that I do is not just for my own profits, and I'm up, 40, 50,000 so far in the first few weeks of 2015 trading with a small account. I make these trades so that I can make a video lesson so that I can reinforce patterns and rules, and sometimes I break them. But every single trade I do is an educational experience. That's how you really should look at this stuff. So if you make millions, that's awesome. If you get offended, that's awesome too. All I want to do is try and make you think about, how I trade and why I've had such success, because it's not random. It works in bull markets. It works in bear markets. I'm going to have more millionaire students. There's one thing where, this one, this is cool. I wish he had named him. This was 2 years ago. A client from Tajikistan who says he's made 250,000 using Sykes' system thanked him by naming his firstborn son Timur. True story. That is Azamjan, and he's up to 300,000 now. He started with 2,200, I believe, 4 years ago. So yes, I make money from teaching. Yes, I'm obnoxious with my pictures, but it's all for the good of education. And I wish that the reporter had really understood that better. I'm sure he was thinking that that was just my marketing line, but it's true. Nothing really is going to grow my business like creating millionaire students and successful students. And all my little antics just get you in the game. I think that once you see, if you join my trading challenge and you see my live webinars, I don't talk about this stuff during the live webinars or most of the time during video lessons. This is another video lesson just because I'm getting so many emails about this article and I have to correct it. One little correction that I have to make. This was cool that this reporter saw me bank $3,700 buying a contract winner. Same strategy as ever. Where was it? Right here. He paid $60,000 to appear on a Bravo Life on a Yacht reality TV show, below deck, that he knew would portray him as a sleazy stock trader. I paid $60,000 to charter the yacht. I didn't pay it to the TV show. That was for the yacht, and I treated 5 or 6 trading challenge students, paying roughly $10,000 per person of my own money to be on that show. I had no idea they were going to portray me as a sleazy stock trader. I thought maybe they would portray me as a successful stock trader. God forbid. But with penny stocks, you have to kind of accept the negativity. And, I mean, after all, I'm trading penny stocks and I drive a freaking orange Lamborghini. So I don't have these illusions of grandeur. I don't know what people are going to portray me as. And it seems that I offend quite a few reporters and a lot of the media. But on that yacht trip, even with bad Wi-Fi, I made $70,000. So it was kind of cool on this one trade. I went in big because we were being filmed on the TV show. The TV show did not show the trade at all. My students witnessed it. They each made a few thousand. But I went big, and it was kind of cool karma that, that even though I wasn't portrayed well on that TV show, that one trade paid for it all and more. So that's what it comes down to. I just want to show you how to make trades like that. Long and short, earnings winners, contract winners, shorting pump and dumps. And again, if you don't like it, you can ignore me. Many people do. But as I've told several people, people who ignore me, they say, oh, I don't want to pay a few hundred or a few $1,000s for your training. I'll just do it on my own. And then they lose 10, 20, 30, 50,000, sometimes even up to 200,000 on their own. And then they say, okay, you're right. What can I do to learn? And there's this one great comment here. And I'm going to close it with this. And, oh, by the way, my hedge fund didn't go bust. That's a common rumor where like, oh, I lost all my money. No, we lost 35% because I invested in my best friend's dad's company, which that company did go bust. They went bankrupt. They lost everything. The shareholders lost everything. I lost roughly 35% of my hedge fund. But leading up to that investment, my hedge fund was already up. And overall, the hedge fund finished up 2% per year over 4 years. Not a bust, nothing good, nothing to be proud of, but definitely not a bust. Where was it? I'll link this article so you can read the whole thing. Right here. So a lot of people think that this analogy is crazy, where I talk about Kinsey because Kinsey pioneered sex education, and before Kinsey, there were so many different rumors and lies surrounding sex and sex education. And I said, just like the ugly world of penny stocks, back then everyone's dirty secret was sex. Today, I'd guess that most traders and investors have tried penny stocks. They're so tempting, but 90% of the people who trade lose. They're degenerates. I'm trying to give structure to junkies. And it's actually probably closer to 95, maybe even 99% of people lose, not just trading penny stocks, but any kind. And there's so much misinformation out there. And, just regards to cutting losses quickly and the fact that, oh, you're trading penny stocks is so risky. I'm the most conservative penny stock trader / cowardly penny stock trader you will ever meet. I get out of stock so quickly, even before I have a loss, just if it starts ticking the wrong way. But by being so conservative, I preach safety and I practice safety. And, when stocks are going my way, you see that over time, I win more than I lose. And that is how you get rich, by winning more than you lose. I have a lot of scratches. A lot of my critics think, oh, you just want to make or lose, or I guess my critics would say you want to just make like 500 or 1,000 here or there. Those don't really add up to my big gains. I have to be really pretty much right for me to have a big gain, because I usually screw up most of my trades. I mistime them. I get out too quickly. I'm overly protective. And through all of that, what my critics don't understand is that the scratches, whether I make or lose 5 or 10 cents a share, they don't matter. They don't change my bottom line much over the course of the year. What does is when I am dead on right. And that is how I make, $70,000 on that yacht trade, buying EKSO. And actually I could have made 200,000 had I timed it right the next day. And shorting the pump and dump CNTO, where I made roughly 70,000. And again, I could have made roughly 150,000 had I waited another day or two. So I didn't time either of them perfectly, but making $70,000 in a day, that's something worth aspiring to. And when my mom says all his marketing makes him look like a jerk, yeah, so it makes me look like a jerk. Boo hoo. I have thick skin. I can handle it. It's not the end of the world. What I really want is, if you want to make a lot of money, make millions of dollars. And again, some people say, oh, making $4 million is peanuts. No, it's not. 99.99% of the world wants to make $4 million, and I know exactly how. It's not an exact science, but I have a pretty damn good framework. So if my attitude and my obnoxiousness turns you off, fine, then don't study. Don't waste my time. I'm overwhelmed as it is. But if you understand that I use all of these props just to get you motivated, and I show all my tax returns and audits so that you can see that I really am making this money, as opposed to some internet marketers who just like rent a Lamborghini for a day. If you can understand why I'm actually doing this, and you're like, wait a minute, this actually makes sense, and you want to be a student, and you want to study, and you want to change your life, and you want to learn and really work your ass off, then talk to me, because I'm always on the lookout for dedicated students. That's what every single thing that I do is for. Whether I'm on a TV show like Below Deck, or I'm in Bloomberg Business Week, or I'm writing a blog post, or I'm making a video lesson, I am on the lookout for video lessons. I'm on the lookout for dedicated students. Most video lessons are not like this. This is very non-technical. I'm just responding to, I don't know, hundreds of emails that I've gotten in the past few hours, and I'm just going to send everybody this one video that answers everything. So call me a douchebag, make fun of me, get turned off by it, whatever you want. But those of you who are dedicated to studying, then talk to me, because those are the only people that matter to me. I don't mind the haters. They just don't matter. They don't want to learn. They don't want to study. They don't want to change their life. You want to be jealous. You want to be a hater. That's fine. That's fine. Most of the world is like that. But there are some of you out there, and I'm just talking to a laptop. I don't know who you are, but I know that there are people out there just like me, sitting in a random bedroom, sitting in a dorm room, sitting in a hotel room, sitting in an office, wherever you are. Understand that I'm not that great at math. I have had no special training. I have no fancy degrees. I didn't go to an Ivy League school. I wasn't given a lot of money, from birth. Some people are saying, oh, he's a trust fund baby. No, I was given hardly anything, a few $1,000s, and I worked my butt off growing that. And if I can do it, anybody can. That is the lesson here, okay? So understand that I use penny stocks, and they're very hated. My videos and my photos don't make me any less hated, but all of that is irrelevant once it gets down to the actual, gist of what I teach, the rules, the patterns, the lessons, how to find stocks, how to cut losses, how to take profits, what position size to take, what times of the day are best to trade, everything that I've learned over 15 years. Take it or leave it. You Trading Challenge students, great webinar this morning. Thank you for all the great questions. I'm going to go back. We have another few minutes of the trading days I'm filming this, so I'm going to go look and see if there's any plays for tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the chat room, and if you get offended and you don't want to learn from me, well, I apologize for you, because you are missing out. See ya.